Because of the following special program, WKRP in Cincinnati and Lou Grant will not be presented this evening.
The following program was recorded at an earlier date for broadcast at this time.
Alright, kids. Not so much an update per se, because nothing has changed. We're still living in the car. We're still waiting for money to come in. And one, I guess, slightly bright spot is that our gas situation is such that we can't really go to Boulder. So it's giving me a chance to actually take a bit of a break from the radio thing for a while and actually recharge batteries. So, you know, silver lining and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to do a little something here. But I've brought this issue up before several times, but now to go a little more in-depth into what I think the design of the Discovery should look like. I'm not saying it's going to, and not that I have any chance in hell of convincing anybody, but this is what I think the situation should be. Okay, here's what we're gonna. First, let's get started off here. 2, 3, 1. Okay, to start off with, let's get a baseline here of what is expected of a Star Trek ship, namely the Enterprise. There's the renderings by Charles Casimiro, some of the better ones out there, and also has the advantage of being full color, detail, and all that happy stuff. Whereas what I think what we should be dealing with is something more along the lines of this, which is the old 18-inch Enterprise model, because the only example we have of a ship, I think, of the proper age from the original series is the Constellation. And the register number matches up pretty well with being a sister ship of the Discovery. You know, 1017 versus 1031 for the Discovery. So this is what we should be looking at right here. And before you say, it's the same ship, no, it isn't. Because let's go through this here. And that it's all the 18-inch stuff is from Dave Shaw, who's done some extremely good stuff. He took an old vintage kit and documented this thing down to the nth degree. So this is, in fact, he even got a comparison here. Here's what the original alignment looks like as opposed to one of the newer kits after they changed the molds in the mid-70s. So, and what we're looking for is one of the older kits here, so with the big dish and the wonky nacelle attachment thing. So let's start off with here. Now, here we all know this ship. You know, that's the proportions. Now we overlay it. Now we're matching up the AMT kit by the thickness of the hull and the size of the bridge module. Because I figured those are standard items there, you know, standard measurements, and the bridge modules plug in anywhere. That's what we get. Actually, get a much significantly smaller ship because it's the neck's pretty close and the saucer in there. But look where the hull is. Look at my play toys here. Oops. Right around here, and plus there's the pylons for there, and those extra one, and the nacelle only goes back to there. So you got smaller nacelles. It's overall a smaller ship, small enough that I think it qualifies as another class. Let's get those out of the way here, and moving on here. Get the top view. Compare it with when you overlay the AMTs. Again, same thing. There's a significant difference. The saucer's not quite as big. Bridge could be the same exact bridge design though. Secondary hull not quite as big. Probably the same size saucer, hangar deck though. But nacelle's actually a little further apart. So it's not all teeny tiny. It's got in a few places. And the underside. And there we go here, see? Same sort of thing. This is a significantly different ship if you take this line of thought here. That what we're dealing with in the case of the Constellation, as an example, is an earlier class of Starship. Go up here. This view has the dish removed, so that's just the grill work beneath it. But there's the bottom of the saucer there. The neck, not much different. And the nacelles also attach on the pylons, pretty much straight on. Whereas on the Constitution, we'll show you better than in the rear view. There's actually angled up a bit. It doesn't quite. It's not a straight, connection there. Let me show you this. compare here. Because on the older class, it bisects the nacelle, half on one side, half on the other. On the other one, it's like just slightly angled up, so that I think this is probably for load bearing purposes for the big model. A little easier if you slung up just a little bit. Yeah. And just one look at the whole thing here. Come on. Again, this is what I think it should be running here. This should go with the older ship here. You get something very recognizable. It's very Star Trek, but also put out stuff like this in the press brackets, and you click. We're not just doing a Constitution class ship. Yes, the Constitution class are out there, but they're brand new ships. This is not a brand new ship we're dealing with. This could be the Discovery should be like another 20 years older than the Enterprise. Enterprise is only 5 years old at this point. Anyway, that's about where it sits there, and I think it demonstrates pretty clear. Yes, this could work. Will it work? I doubt they have. They're sophisticated enough to figure to go subtle and do this. They want to be all fancy, go the obvious way and do something totally different and totally muck up the works in the process because they really do it. Think about this: aircraft carriers, for the most part, look a lot alike. You got to have a pretty trained eye to tell, say, a Kitty Hawk class from a Nimitz class, and even Nimitz class is very ship to ship. But there's quite a range actually, but you still got the same flat top thing, roughly the same length, about 1,000 feet, give or take. There's differences in islands or whatever, but I think the same thing here. The ship designs are gonna be roughly the same. You're gonna get, it's the saucer, the lower hull, the nacelles. There's only so many ways you can do that. And I just think, let's just be a little logical here. And for marketing purposes, I understand they're having trouble getting anybody interested in picking up the license to market what they've got designed so far for the Discovery. This one, it's already out there. It is in stores right now as the Enterprise kit. Just redo the decals and bingo, you're done. Job over, move on to the next job. So that's where I stand on that. So this is a case I've been trying to make for a bunch of years now, ever since it became pretty clear that the old 18-inch kit really doesn't represent the Constitution very well. But it is a screen-accurate representation of the constellation, admit it. That's what they use, so that's it. So you just end with that wonky register number. The case is very easily made that what we have there is not a Constitution-class ship. Regardless of what they intended to be, it's not. That's not the way it works out anymore. It is an older class ship. Significantly older, I think, about 20 years or so. And it solves a lot of problems when you go that route. And also would solve a lot of problems that we have right now, credibility-wise, with Discovery. And trying to think, the design they got out right now is like, no, that's, if they were 50 years older, something before this one, yeah, it'd work. But that soon before the original series, no. So, if there really aren't as much turmoil as there are right now, maybe they'll see this and maybe someone will wake up, hey, let's just get one of these somebody get an old kit off eBay, do a scan, and we'll get this job done and win some favor back with the fans. And again, you'd solve your marketing problem in an instant because your kit is already out and in production. All you got to do is make up new decals for it. In fact, actually, you could cobble the kit. One of the things I was starting to do for a while was I've got a few of these kits, just do one up and rearrange some of the decals on it, and yes, spell out USS Discovery NCC-1031. I might still do that once if we get settled up in a place and the show hasn't premiered yet. Yeah, I'm going to do one. I'll do a video of it. I've already got one of what I thought was the Yamato 1305, which I think also plots out to one of the older classes, not a Constitution. Anyway, support links down below: Patreon, PayPal, Cafe Press. You know the drill. Still on the road. Still don't want to be on the road, but hopefully Social Security is finally going to come through and give us some, approve my ass so we can get off the damn streets. Because as nice as the car is, it's not that nice. Especially when you're living in it with a cat. And the litter box is right behind your seat. it gets old real quick. So, talk at you later.
Next, termination. Be here. Aloha.